Assalamu alaikum. Today's lesson is very different. I'm not doing Al Imran because I feel the utmost importance is the current events, the volcano, which I'm sure you've all heard about, the underwater volcano that occurred off the coast of Australia. It's about 5 days ago now. And this underwater volcano is not that unusual. There have been many underwater volcanoes. As a matter of fact, after doing some research, 3/4 of volcanic activity occurs under the ocean. Now, the reason I did the research when I heard about this overwhelmingly gigantic one, which has caused widespread tragedy, just some of it, I will refer that I have jotted down here for you. My point are the verses in Quran that already warned us. Yet I just want to let you know, maybe some of you haven't heard about the results of this volcano. The waves traveled to the coast of Japan and to the US, causing tsunamis. There was an oil spill in Peru. There was 7 hours of lightning activity in the sky at the time and after that time. 400,000 lightning strikes were counted. The sound was heard in Alaska. Now, why is this important for me as a teacher of Islam? Well, the first thing I thought of were the 2 verses in the Quran that literally describe volcanoes under the ocean. Now, the words in Arabic, I will read it to you. I'll tell you the surah, the number, and the verse number so that you can do your own research on this. The first one comes from Surah Takweer. It's surah number 81 in the Quran, and it's verse 6. Very few words. Allah says, وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ سُجِّرَتْ. 3 words. وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ سُجِّرَتْ. Just 3 words. It means the oceans surge and swell and widen and are on fire. So all of these words are needed. As I told you, many words are needed for just a few words in the Quran. The next surah is Surah Tur, number 52, and incidentally, verse 6. That's something to ponder, that in both places where Allah mentions oceans on fire, it's the same number of the verse. And here Allah says, وَالْبَحْرِ الْمَسْجُورِ وَالْبَحْرِ الْمَسْجُورِ. Once again, you hear the word Bahr, Bihar. So Bahr is singular, Bihar is plural, but you can hear the root, Bahra. And in the first one, Sujjirat. It's a passive verb. And in the second one, masjur. It's an infinitive form of an adjectival noun. But you can hear it. Masjur. Masjur. The first one is sujjirat. So the sujjira is the root here. Now, when Allah is describing this, it's referring to Judgment Day, the signs that are going to happen before Judgment Day. Well, you can say, wait now. They have recorded underwater volcanoes previously. Does that mean Judgment Day is near? Signs seem to indicate that. And the reason that I'm really trying to impress it upon you is, it is a well-known fact now, it wasn't before, that the hellfire is under the oceans. Now, I had read from the old scriptures that it was a theory. And some scholars said, hell is under the oceans. Other scholars said, no, not necessarily. It doesn't have to be under the oceans. We don't really know where hell is. But we always refer to hell as down there. In other words, are you going up or are you going down? And we all want to go up because we know that the heavens, the Jannah, the paradise, is up there. Up there. You know, we say that we want the Firdaus al-A'la, the highest heaven. Now, one of Allah's attributes is He is the Most High, Huwa al-Ali. So now, if there are problems occurring all over the world, multiple problems more than ever before, in every way that you can describe, more diseases, more shortages, more crimes, more immorality, more of all the bad things. Isn't it just like the all-merciful Allah to send us signs? Because He's all-merciful. He wants us to wake up and prepare. Because literally, it says in a blink of an eye, we say tarfat ayn. In Arabic, it means in the blink of an eye. It can happen. And Allah said it can happen in the Quran when they're waking or sleeping or playing or enjoying. You just don't know. But yes, there are signs. And many of the signs, they call them alamat as-sa'ah, the signs of the hour. If you look it up on YouTube, there are hundreds of folks speaking about this. And some of it's conjecture, but most of it is reliable, based on the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, which we accept with the Quran. But this one is Quran, about the oceans on fire. May Allah protect us all, give us more guidance, give us more ability to do what it is that He wants us to do, which for Muslims is to pray your prayers 5 times a day on time and read the Quran and ponder it and follow it. And for those who have not yet accepted Islam, try to delve and educate yourself as best you can, but the guidance is from Allah. The guidance comes to Allah before you've read anything. I know it came to me that way. I just had a feeling that Allah was one, had no son, had no partners in His power. I felt Allah was the all-powerful controller of the universe before I read anything. And then, of course, when I accepted Islam, before that, actually, I have to tell you that I was reading Quran in translation for a couple of years because I wanted to know. I had this sense that there was something I needed to know. And that sense, we call it ilham in Arabic. It's a feeling that Allah gives to those He wants to give it to. There are many people who became Muslim that never even thought or cared or had nothing in their mind, and then they just picked up a Quran one day, and that was their first beginning. But I think I was aware because I went to the Catholic school for so long, and I was being indoctrinated that Allah is 3 in 1 and the cross and all that. I just never for a minute believed it, ever. So however Allah chooses to call you, I hope this is part of your call, listening to me right now. And we should all pray for those survivors in this island called Tonga, because now they have no fresh drinking water, and the extent of the deaths has not yet been calculated by this fiery explosion under the ocean. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.